Robots are making millions on Wall Street right now while you're watching this video. They're buying and selling stocks faster than you can blink, making split-second decisions that would take human traders hours to figure out. And they never sleep. While everyone was worried about robots stealing factory jobs, something much bigger was happening. Machines started quietly invading the most powerful place on Earth, Wall Street, and now they control more money than most countries have in their entire budgets. Right now, robots are handling over 70% of all stock trades in America. That means when you buy a stock through your phone app, there's a robot on the other side making that trade happen. These aren't simple computer programs, these are smart machines that learn, adapt, and get better at making money every single day. Trading firms are spending billions of dollars on these robot systems because they discovered something amazing. Robots can spot patterns in the market that humans never see. They can process news from around the world in seconds and decide whether to buy or sell before any human even finishes reading the headline. But here's what really shocked Wall Street insiders. These robots don't just trade faster than humans, they're actually better at predicting which way stocks will move, way better. The artificial intelligence trading market just exploded from $11.5 billion in 2024 to a projected $75.5 billion by 2034. That's more than 6 times bigger in just 10 years. But why is this happening so fast? Goldman Sachs just dropped a bombshell prediction. They say the market for humanoid robots will hit $38 billion by 2035. That's 6 times bigger than they predicted just 1 year ago. These aren't just trading robots sitting in computer servers. We're talking about actual physical robots that can walk around trading floors and make financial decisions. But the really crazy part is what these machines can do that human traders can't. They can watch thousands of stocks at the same time, read millions of news articles in minutes, and spot tiny changes in market patterns that predict big price movements. Here's a real example that will blow your mind. Some trading robots can now predict stock price changes up to 30 seconds before they happen. 30 seconds might not sound like much, but in the world of high-speed trading, that's enough time to make millions of dollars on a single trade. Investment firms are using robots called algo traders that can execute thousands of trades per second. While a human trader might make 10 trades in a day, these robots can make 10,000 trades in 1 second, and they're getting smarter every day. These financial robots don't just randomly buy and sell stocks. They're programmed to do things that would take teams of human analysts weeks to accomplish. They can read company financial reports in seconds, analyze the tone of news articles to predict market reactions, and even monitor social media to see what investors are talking about. Some robots specialize in something called pattern recognition. They study charts of stock prices going back decades and find tiny patterns that repeat over time. When they spot these patterns forming, they automatically make trades to profit from them. Other robots focus on something called sentiment analysis. They scan thousands of news articles, social media posts, and financial reports to understand whether people feel good or bad about certain stocks. If the robot detects that people are getting excited about a company, it might buy the stock before the price goes up. The most advanced robots can do something that sounds almost magical. They can predict market crashes before they happen. These systems monitor hundreds of different economic signals and can spot the warning signs of trouble days or even weeks before human experts notice anything wrong. But here's what's really interesting. Some investment firms are now using robots to manage entire investment funds. These robot fund managers never take vacations, never have bad days, and never let emotions affect their decisions. They just focus on making money 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Wall Street discovered that humans have a big problem when it comes to investing money. We get scared when prices drop and greedy when prices rise. We make decisions based on feelings instead of facts. And sometimes we just make really stupid mistakes. Robots don't have these problems. They don't panic when the market crashes. They don't get overconfident when everything's going well. They just follow their programming and make decisions based on data, not emotions. Here's a shocking statistic. Over 90% of professional human fund managers fail to beat the market over long periods of time. But the best robot trading systems can beat the market year after year. They're not just replacing humans, they're doing the job better than humans ever could. But it gets even more interesting. Some firms are now using robots to predict which human traders are about to make bad decisions. These systems can analyze a trader's behavior patterns and actually warn supervisors when someone is likely to make a costly mistake. Trading floors that used to employ hundreds of people now run with just a handful of human supervisors watching over armies of trading robots. The robots do all the actual buying and selling, while humans just make sure everything is running smoothly. Something happened recently that changed everything. Artificial intelligence got dramatically smarter, almost overnight. The same technology that powers ChatGPT is now being used to create trading robots that think more like humans but trade faster than any machine that came before. These new AI-powered trading systems can do something previous robots couldn't. They can actually understand the meaning behind financial news, not just react to keywords. They can read between the lines of company announcements and figure out what executives are really trying to say. Major investment banks are now racing to build the most advanced trading robots possible. They know that whoever has the smartest machines will make the most money. It's become an arms race where the prize is billions of dollars in trading profits. But the revolution isn't stopping at just buying and selling stocks. These robots are starting to make decisions about entire investment strategies. They're choosing which companies to invest in, which markets to enter, and even which other robots to work with. Some firms are experimenting with robots that can actually negotiate deals with other robots. These machines can have complex financial conversations, make offers, counter offers, and reach agreements faster than human negotiators ever could. This robot takeover of Wall Street affects your money in ways you probably haven't thought about yet. If you have a retirement account, mutual funds, or any investments at all, robots are probably already managing some of your money. The good news is that robot-managed funds often have lower fees than funds managed by humans. Since robots don't need salaries, bonuses, or expensive offices, investment companies can pass those savings on to you. Robot advisors are also getting better at creating personalized investment plans. They can analyze your age, income, goals, and risk tolerance to build an investment strategy that's perfectly tailored to your situation. And they can adjust that strategy instantly as market conditions change. But here's the part that might surprise you. Because robots can trade so efficiently, they're actually making the stock market work better for everyone. They provide something called liquidity, which means it's easier for regular people to buy and sell stocks quickly at fair prices. However, there's also a downside. When robots control such a large portion of trading, small glitches can cause big problems. If a robot system makes a mistake, it can affect thousands of trades in seconds, potentially causing huge market swings. The biggest investment firms on Wall Street are already preparing for a future where robots handle almost everything. They're not just using robots for trading anymore, they're using them for research, customer service, risk management, and even making decisions about hiring and firing human employees. Some firms are testing robots that can attend meetings, take notes, and make recommendations about investment strategies. These robots can process information from multiple sources simultaneously and provide insights that human analysts might miss. What if I told you that over half of all banking jobs could vanish in the next few years? What if your loan approval, your investment advice, and even your cash withdrawals will soon be handled by machines that never sleep, never make mistakes, and work for free? This isn't some far-off future story. Real banks are installing real robots today, and they're changing everything about how money works. But here's the twist. This robot takeover might actually make your life better. Wait until you see what these machines can actually do. Right now, as you watch this video, robots are working in banks. Not just software programs, but actual physical robots with arms, eyes, and voices. These aren't the clunky machines from old movies. These are smart, smooth, and surprisingly human-like. Take ICICI Bank in India. They just became the first bank in the world to use a robotic arm for counting cash. This robot counts money faster than any human ever could, and it never loses count. It doesn't get tired after 8 hours. It doesn't need lunch breaks, and it definitely doesn't make counting errors that cost the bank thousands of dollars. But cash counting is just the beginning. Banks are now using robots called Pepper at their front desks. These robots look almost human, stand about 4 feet tall, and can chat with customers just like a regular person would. They recognize faces, remember your name, and can answer hundreds of banking questions instantly. Here's where it gets really interesting. These robots can do something human tellers can't. They can work with perfect memory. Every single customer interaction gets stored forever. Every question, every answer, every problem gets remembered and used to help the next person better. But you're probably wondering, what does this mean for the millions of people who work in banks? A recent study from Citibank dropped a bombshell. They found that more than half of all financial sector jobs are ready for robot replacement. We're talking about millions of jobs that could change dramatically or disappear completely. But here's what the study also found. This might not be the disaster you think it is. Banks aren't just firing everyone and replacing them with robots. Instead, they're moving human workers to do more important, more interesting work, while robots handle the boring, repetitive tasks. Think about it. Would you rather spend your day counting the same bills over and over, or would you rather help people solve complex financial problems? Robots are taking over the tasks that humans never wanted to do anyway. Goldman Sachs just made a prediction that will blow your mind. They say the market for humanoid robots will reach $38 billion by 2035. That's 6 times bigger than what they predicted just 1 year ago. This explosion in robot use is happening because artificial intelligence got so much better, so much faster than anyone expected. Morgan Stanley went even further. They're predicting that by 2050, humanoid robots will create $1 trillion market in the United States alone. To put that in perspective, that's bigger than the entire economy of most countries. But what are these robots actually doing that's so valuable? The robots working in banks today can do things that would amaze you. They can process loan applications in minutes instead of days. They can spot fraud patterns that humans miss completely. And they can provide customer service 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, without ever getting grumpy or impatient. Here's a real example. Some UK banks are now using Pepper robots as receptionists. When you walk into the bank, the robot recognises your face instantly. It knows who you are, why you're probably there, and can direct you to exactly the right person. It can even order your coffee while you wait. These robots use something called facial recognition, combined with artificial intelligence. They can read your emotions, understand if you're frustrated or happy, and adjust how they talk to you based on how you're feeling. But the really impressive stuff happens behind the scenes. Robot software systems are now handling investment advice. These systems can analyse thousands of market conditions, read millions of news articles, and make investment recommendations faster and more accurately than human financial advisors ever could. They're also revolutionizing fraud detection. While a human might spot suspicious activity, if they're paying close attention, these robot systems can monitor thousands of accounts at the same time, looking for tiny patterns that signal trouble. They can freeze a fraudulent transaction in milliseconds, potentially saving you thousands of dollars. And here's something that might surprise you. These robots are getting better at understanding human emotions and needs than many human bank employees. They're programmed to be patient, helpful, and knowledgeable about every single banking product and service. Banks aren't replacing humans with robots just because it's cool or futuristic. They're doing it because it solves real problems that have plagued banking for decades. First, there's the accuracy problem. Humans make mistakes. Even the best bank teller occasionally miscounts money, enters wrong account numbers, or forgets important procedures. Robots don't have bad days. They don't get distracted. They don't make arithmetic errors. Second, there's the availability problem. Human employees work 8-hour shifts, need breaks, take vacations, and sometimes call in sick. Robots can work continuously, providing consistent service whenever customers need it. Third, there's the knowledge problem. A human employee might be an expert in checking accounts, but know very little about investment products. Robots can be programmed with complete knowledge of every banking service, regulation, and procedure. But the biggest reason might surprise you. It's actually about providing better customer service. When robots handle the routine tasks, human employees can focus on complex problems that require creativity, empathy, and sophisticated thinking. This robot revolution in banking is going to change how you handle money in ways you probably haven't thought about yet. Your banking experience is about to become faster, more convenient, and surprisingly more personal. Robot advisors are already managing investment portfolios better than many human advisors, and they charge much lower fees. These systems can monitor your investments constantly, making tiny adjustments that add up to significantly better returns over time. Loan approvals that used to take weeks now happen in minutes. Robot systems can analyze your credit history, income, and financial patterns to make lending decisions faster and more accurately than human underwriters. But here's the most interesting part. Robots are making banking more human, not less human. Because robots handle the boring paperwork and routine questions, human bank employees can spend more time actually talking to customers about their financial goals, dreams, and concerns. Major investment firms like JP Chase and Goldman Sachs are already heavily investing in robotic systems. They're not just experimenting, they're committing billions of dollars to this technology because they know it's the future. The robots coming next will be even more impressive. We're talking about machines that can have natural conversations, understand complex financial situations, and provide advice that's tailored specifically to your unique circumstances. Some banks are testing robots that can walk around the banking floor, approaching customers who look confused or frustrated, and offering help before the customer even asks for it. Others are developing robots that can handle cash deposits and withdrawals more securely than human tellers, with advanced biometric systems that make fraud nearly impossible. The most advanced systems being developed can actually predict what banking services you'll need before you know you need them, based on your spending patterns, life changes, and financial goals. This transformation is happening faster than most people realize. The banks that adapt quickly will provide better service at lower costs. The banks that don't adapt might not survive. But what does all this mean for you right now? Should you be worried about dealing with robot bank tellers? Should you be excited about the possibilities? The answer might depend on how well you understand what's really happening in this rapidly changing industry. If you found this information valuable and want to stay ahead of these massive changes in banking and technology, make sure to subscribe for more insights into how artificial intelligence and robotics are reshaping the world around us. The next video will reveal how these same robot technologies are transforming healthcare in ways that could literally save your life. What do you think about robot bank tellers? Are you excited about faster, more accurate service, or worried about the loss of human connection in banking? Let me know in the comments below.